Well, good morning, everybody. How are you this fine day? I want to talk to you about handling stress and situations that are coming up. One of the big things that just came out with the Rotary was there's a lot of anxiety about our ecology, our ecosystem, our planet, our climate change. Not only that it is changing, but the cause of it and us not doing enough, um, and especially the anxiety it comes with people not listening to our concerns. And that's a real concern because it's something that we go through. I have my own views on what causes climate change and what is in charge of our ecology, but that doesn't get rid of the stress of our physical body dealing with the changes, and it doesn't deal with the stress of our mental emotional state of dealing with the changes and the unknown of what's to come. How does chiropractic fit into this? Let's get right down to it. Chiropractic helps your body balance out the physical mental stresses going on so that you can better deal with life itself. The core of what we look for when we decide whether to adjust you or not is there adaptive balance going on. It's a term. Adaptive balance is, are you adapting to your environment, to the stresses in your life in a balanced way? And that's left to right, up and down, but it's also in a reasonable physiological way. And that's what we look for when we do our checks. And that's the leg checks, that's the thermal scans, that's the um, other doctors do different checks. They might do a kinesiology test, they might do x-ray, they might do um, motion x-ray, they might do MRI, they might do other things to test to see if you're adapting to your stresses in your life in a balanced way. And if you're not balanced in your response, that shows that there's something restricting the normal in your body. That's where we go in and we find what level that restriction is, that vertebral subluxation that's interfering with the control systems, getting the messages, the control messages to the parts of the body that are dealing with the response. And then we assist the body in correcting that interference, that vertebral subluxation, and the body is able to return to normal. And normal is not average. Normal is not the mean or uh, the median. Normal is absolute best possible scenario for you to be in. You don't want to be hyper responsive. That's when your body starts to do things more aggressively than it ought to. You don't want to be hypo responsive, which is when it's doing less than it's supposed to. You want a normal response. That's what it was designed to do. That's what our body was designed to do. And if we get rid of the interference to that normal response, we have adaptive balance. And so the question has come up several times in the last couple months with the new clients here at Pure Chiro Now. How often should I come? And that's a very good question when you understand what we're actually doing. The easy answer is come in once a week just because it's convenient and everybody has this habit of doing things weekly. So every Wednesday at 2 o'clock, you go to your chiropractor. That's the easy answer, is make it a habit so that it's part of your day, your weekly routine. But physiologically, that weekly visit to the chiropractor makes a lot of sense as well. Adaptive balance also controls the parts that aren't interfered with. They will adapt to the function that's wrong. So the parts that are working well will adapt their structure to the function that is not working well. So if we have a joint that's not moving well, it's either too much or too little, usually too little, and there's inflammation going on, that process starts the body to change the shape of that joint. Um, because the body wants to have good balance and good function. If there's interference to function, the body will start changing the shape to fit the new function. We've seen that over and over again. You've seen um, all kinds of people walking around with weird posture that are doing extremely well. So the body of it has adapted to something that went wrong to get as normal as possible for that new situation. Research has been out there for decades, decades and decades. It was done on rabbits, unfortunately, but that was back when that was an accepted thing in studies. That if a joint isn't moving properly, the body starts changing that joint structure within 2 weeks. So we have a 2 week window of when a joint stops working properly and when the body starts to change that shape and change the structures around it to fit the new function. Um, I propose that it's better to get the body functioning again, help that joint that's restricted, that is uh, been put in a place of causing mental impulse changes, the changes in the command structure, the command information, the vertebral subluxation. I propose that vertebral subluxation be remediated through the adjustment by a chiropractor, assisting the body in the correction so that it goes back to normal function, so that normal structure is what goes on as the body constantly replaces every cell in our body. So, side note, our intestines are replaced every 90 days. Our heart is replaced every 9 months. Our bones are replaced every 7 years. So every cell in the body goes through a do your thing, you die, it gets replaced with a new cell. Um, what we want to do over the course of time is constantly have everything at a normal, balanced, adaptive state so that when the new cells come in, they're not stressed and formed to the old bad way. They have the best chance to replenish the cells that they're replacing with new, proper, normal cells. That's the long explanation. You should be coming to the chiropractor on a regular basis, regardless. I have some clients that come in every 2 weeks, and that's fine for them because they're holding and they've been in chiropractic care for a while. Most people needs to see a chiropractor once a week, just because the stress of life that we live in today is so stressful, whether we admit it or not. So very stressful. From the automobiles we drive, to the music we listen to the jobs we do, to the family structures we have, to the social experimentation going on at the highest and lowest levels, to worrying about the climate and the change that's going on over time, and how what we can do and are we causing it and who is to blame and how do we get them to pony up and help change this behemoth momentum that's going on around the globe in our environment. Hope that helps a little bit on understanding why we need to see a chiropractor and how often. We used a lot of high level stuff. I referred to some research, and all of it's out there readily available. If I give it to you, it kind of taints it and biases the information that I cherry pick. Go out and search for yourself. There are those out there that say what we do is a bunch of hokum. There are a few out there that say that the vertebral subluxation that I've talked quite a bit about is a hysterical term that should never be used again. And all I have to say is just do the research. Just look it up. Just look up vertebral subluxation in the medical literature, in the physical therapy literature, in the neuroanatomist literature, in chiropractic literature. It's everywhere. It's everywhere. And then when you start talking about the balanced response, there's whole divisions of advanced degrees you can get in um, dysautonomia, the imbalance in the autonomic nervous system, psychoneuroimmunology, the brain, how you think controls how the brain functions, which affects your immune system. So there, I mean, that's a PhD level course that's been around for 20, 30 years. So what I'm saying is nothing new. What I'm saying is not revolutionary. We've been saying the same thing for 100 years now. Um, you just needed to hear it. Thank you for listening. PureChiroNow.com. Dr. Sam and I are here ready to serve. I look forward to seeing you. If you have any questions, do not hesitate to reach out. We are in Inman, South Carolina, on the south side of beautiful Lake of Bowen in Inman. Well, I said Inman, so there you go. Talk to you later, guys. Love you. Bye.